Hi everyone. Hope you all are good. We are here for grade 9 math. You can find all the lessons on aplusstudents.com. You have to log in there using your email address and password as provided by the administrator. Then you have to select math from the subject tab. Scroll down to grade 9 math and then click on view all lessons. There you can find a list of the chapters. We're going to start with the chapter logic. Then we'll start the chapter variable expressions and equations. So please make sure you have your notebook and pencil so that you can note down the important examples and definitions as well. So here I'm on grade 9 math. The chapter we're on right now is logic. Let's just start with the lesson. Let's just start with the first lesson as identify hypotheses and conclusions. What is the hypothesis in the conditional statement? If a quadrilateral has no right angles, then it is not a rectangle. The one that is after the if is the hypothesis. If a quadrilateral has no right angles, so a quadrilateral has no right angles is the hypothesis, then it is not a rectangle, that is the conclusion, right? The if part is the hypothesis and then part is the conclusion, and that is a conditional. If is a condition, so that is a conditional statement. So a conditional statement can be written as if A then B. So A is the hypothesis and B is the conclusion. Let's just start with the test questions. What is condition? What is conclusion in this conditional statement? The statement is if a city is in the United States, then it is in North America. Then part is the conclusion, right? So the conclusion is the city is in the North America. The cities in the North America is the conclusion. What is the hypothesis in the conditional statement? If a city is in Germany, then it is in Europe. So, which is the correct option? The city is in Germany, that is the hypothesis. If part is the hypothesis, so option number two is the correct option. What is the conclusion in this conditional statement? If a square has a parameter of 8 units, then its sides have a length of 2 units each. So, which is the correct option? The conclusion is the then part. The side of the square has a length of 2 units each. Option number one is the correct option. What is the hypothesis in this conditional statement? So, which is the correct option? If it is my birthday, then I eat birthday cake. So, which is the correct option? It is my birthday is the hypothesis. Option number one is the correct option. What is the hypothesis in this Conditional statement. If her child is an infant, then it sleeps in a crib. So you have to find the hypothesis. The if part is the hypothesis. So her child is an infant is the hypothesis, right? Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let's just move on to next lesson. The next lesson is counter example. Let's just start with the lesson. Which of the following is a counter example for the conditional statement? If a man uses a camera at his job, then he is a photographer. Basically, we are not given with the examples here, so that's why if a man uses a camera at his job, then he is a photographer. A mechanic who does not use a camera to do his job. uh, let's just start with the test question here because here we are not given with the examples. Basically, a counter example is an example in which the hypothesis is true but the conclusion is false. If you can find a counter example to a conditional statement, then the conditional statement is false. So the counter example is the one in which the hypothesis is true but the conclusion is false. Let's just start with the test questions. Which of the following is a counterexample for the conditional statement? If three-dimensional solid has a six faces, then it is a cube. A rectangular pyramid, a rectangular prism, a cylinder, a sphere. I think that is a rectangular prism. If a three-dimensional has six faces, then it is a cube. So now go through the answers one by one. The first one is the rectangular pyramid. The hypothesis is false because a rectangular pyramid does not have six faces, right? The rectangular prism has six faces, right? So in this one, the rectangular prism is true because but conclusion is false. The rectangular prism is not a cube, right? So basically the counter example is the rectangular prism. Okay. So basically, let me just explain. You are given the hypothesis that is if a three-dimensional solid has six faces, so you have to find the one that has six faces but that is not a cube. This portion must be true but this one must be false. So that is a rectangular prism has six faces but that is not a false. So that is the correct counter example is a rectangular prism. Which of the following is a counterexample for the conditional statement? If a food is green, then it is a vegetable. S- So you have to see which food is green, but that is not a vegetable, right? Because you have to find a counterexample. For the counterexample, the hypothesis must be true. If a food is green, a green apple, and the conclusion part is false because apple is green, but that is not a vegetable. So the correct option is a green apple. That is the counterexample. Which of the following is a counterexample for the conditional statement? If a sport uses ball, then ball is round. So which sport uses a ball but the ball is not round? Which is the correct option? Which sport uses a ball? Running is not used. I think soccer it is. Football? Football is. The ball is not round in football. Which of the following is an example? Which of the following is a counterexample for the conditional statement? If a playing card from a if a playing card from a standard deck is red, then it is a heart. So which is the correct option? The correct option is a spade. Oh, that is a diamond. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let's move on to next lesson. We have done with the chapter logic. We're going to start with the next chapter. The next chapter is variable equations. Let's just start with the lesson. Let's just identify equivalent linear expressions. So let's just start with the lesson. Which expression is equivalent to 8 times k plus 4? So you have to write down in the standard form, that is written with the, you have distributive property. You have to do 8 times k, that is 8k, and then 8 times 4, that is 32. Let's just start with the test questions. Which expression is equivalent to 3 times m plus 9? The correct option. That is option number 1. You have to apply the distributive property. You have to do 3 times m, that is 3m, and 3 times 9, that is 27. So option number 1 is the correct option. Which expression is equivalent to 2 times 4u? So which is the correct option? 2 times 4 is 8u. Option number 3 is the correct option. That is 8u. Which expression is equivalent to 6x plus 5s? Eleven s. Option number 1 is the correct option. Which expression is equivalent to 5 times a plus 7? So which is the correct option? You have to apply the distributive property. So 5 times a is 5 and 5 times 5 is 35. So option number 1 is the correct option. The correct option is 7 cubed plus 14. Option number 1 is the correct option. Which expression is equivalent to 7j plus j? So which is the correct option? That is 8j. Option number 2 is the correct option. Which expression is equivalent to 3 times 4z? So which is the correct option? Correct option is 12z. Option number 3 is the correct option. Which expression is equivalent to 4 times 2h? So which is the correct option? The correct option is 8h. Option number 1 is the correct option. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson. That is, which x satisfies an equation What value of r is the solution to this equation? So you need to find the value of r. So how do we calculate? You are given, just solve the equation. You have to isolate the variable r, right? So you have to divide both of the equation by 7. So just divide. You have 7 and 7 cancel out. You're left with r, and 7 times 3 is 21. So that means r equals 3. That is the solution of the equation. The correct option is r equals 3. Let's just start with the test questions. What value of is the solution of the equation? So which is the correct option? What value of s is the solution to this equation? So which is the correct option? Isolate the variable s. Divide both sides of the equation by 7. That is 7s equals 14. Divide both sides by 7. 7 and 7 cancel out. And 7 times 2 equals 14. So that is 2. Option number 2 is the correct option. That is s equals 2. Okay, the next one is what value of z solution to this equation? You have to isolate the variable a is option. That is 8 times 3 is 24. So z equals 3. What value of q is a solution to this equation? So which is the correct option? Isolate the variable q and move the 10 to the other side, so it would be then subtracted. So 11 minus 10 is 1. The correct option is 1. That is option number one is the option. What value of z is the solution to this equation? So which is the correct option? The correct option is z equals 10. Option number two is the correct option. What value of y is a solution to this equation? So which is the correct option? That is y equals 11. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. So we were working on grade 9 math. We have started with the chapter logic. Then we have covered the lesson with expressions and equations. So please make sure before the next session you can complete all the practice questions for the lessons we just did. That is your homework until next session. So if you need more help with any of the lesson, you can simply click on the live chat button. Tutors are available there to help you, or either you can write down the questions in the chat box. I'm here to answer all your questions and confusions if you have any. Any questions?